Right, Sherif, so thank you so much for joining us for our carpool down to the Mandalay Bay. Got to save pennies now with the global downturn. How you doing?
I'm doing great. This is fantastic, and I'm getting spoiled. This, beautiful.
It's a nice way to travel, isn't it? Apparently, it is the only Porsche Taycan 4 in Las Vegas currently. So we were lucky to nab it. And you know what? We went with it because we're seeing a massive move to a lot of green technology, and I think that insurance is embodying that. When it comes to really what you guys do, how do you see the intersection between green and insurance? Where do the two collide?
Well, I mean, in a digital world is where they collide. I mean, historically, even brokers, or or agents when they're distributing, they're using paper largely. They get the documents by paper, and everything is done by signature and sending a paper application and whatnot. But with digital, that's where they meet, because not only are you moving things much faster, but you don't need the paper.
Yeah,
like that's the best place for it to intersect.
Definitely.
But that's a biased opinion. But.
Yeah, no, of course. But I mean, so let's talk about Trufla a bit.
So Trufla was born out of a brokerage that I owned called Sharp Insurance. So I started it back in 2009, and we wanted to do things digitally, but we didn't quite have the technology, or it wasn't available. So we started building it ourselves. And as we were building and growing it, it started getting attention from other brokerages that were asking to use it, and then we thought maybe there's something here. And so Trufla was born. So it's been around for 8 years now. So we're not a startup. We've got about 130 employees in a couple of continents, and we provide technology for brokers to help power distribution. That's our focus. We want brokers to sell more.
That's absolutely brilliant. And I mean, we're now seeing obviously insurance being able to, because of that digital revolution you're mentioning, being able to offer up far more tailored services. Where does a broker come into that? What are some of the most crazy kind of insurance premiums we're going to start seeing taken out, and how can they come to you guys to enable that?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it all comes down to data.
Yeah.
Data is really what powers it. The more data that a broker has, that they have access to, the better they'll be able to determine, the premium on the risk, or how to assess or manage the risk on, for each client. But historically, brokers have never had access to that kind of data, because that's typically been reserved for carriers. So, and that's kind of where we come in. We're providing more data than brokers have ever had to be able to power distribution.
Now, I mean, tell our viewers a bit more about yourself, Sherif.
So I didn't come from insurance. I was actually a finance background, working in oil and gas, and my first entry into insurance was starting Sharp. So I guess I didn't have baggage. So I just didn't know any better. Yeah. And so I was constantly asking, why couldn't we do it like this, and really trying to push the envelope, and it worked. And a lot of people think that, you've got to be, you've got to have all this experience, and you've got to know about it, and at a certain point you do, but I kind of just took the plunge, and we did it. And I did have good people that that really knew the insurance side of things, and
it's the coming together of the two sides of the coin, isn't it? You want that innovation that comes from looking as an outsider, but you still need, with insurance being such an actuarial and regulated industry, you want those team members that can have that core, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone has their specialty. They know what they know, and as long as you've got strong people. I mean, we grew Sharp from policy one, which was $0. Yeah. Organically, in 10 years, we grew it to under 90 million. So it was, that was a lot of growth. But it's because you got good people, and you've got a plan, and you execute, and just go.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, a little bit more about you. You're based out of Canada, is that correct?
Based out of Canada, out of Calgary, Alberta. You know, we're the rodeos of, or the cowboys of Canada.
Of Canada.
So, yes.
Incredible. And not just that, I may have heard down the line that you were part of the Canadian poker tour, right?
Yes, I have dabbled in playing some cards. I did used to play on the Canadian poker tour. I do have a love of poker for sure.
Incredible. And how obviously we're here in
Great
Las
being
Vegas.
in Las Vegas for that, yes.
Surrounded by the Venetian right now, the Mirage. I mean, so what's it like being in, a poker player in Vegas? What do you see that maybe the normal people that maybe spend about $10 hands, what do I not see?
Well, I mean, I was kind of forced out. There came a point where my wife basically said, "You're gonna pick me or the cards."
Yeah.
And I think I chose wisely.
I think so.
I don't play as much, but I know when I did play, I mean, this is a great place to make a lot of money because there's a lot of
tables
and
a lot of newbies.
A lot of newbies, and I mean, to quote one of my favorite movies, Rounders, if you can't spot the fish in the first 30 minutes, you are the fish. So.
Now, we've talked about some of the buzzwords that annoy you the most about insurance, but obviously you've gone from the high stakes world of poker, you're now in the insurance side of things, which is all about managing risk. Where do you see insurance going in the future? What causes you to get up in the morning and go, this is an industry that a lot of people are sleeping on because it has the potential?
I mean, anyone who's in the industry knows that, insurance is kind of the backbone of, the global financial industry. I mean, you can't have a strong economy without a strong insurance and strong banking sector. So there's tons of opportunities. Where we, what I'm loving these days, and we're definitely seeing more of it, is we took a gamble early on where we were kind of saying, no, the best way to distribute insurance is through a broker or an agent. And then InsurTech 1.0 kind of came out and, was all about, your Lemonades, your Metro Miles, your Root Insurances, going, creating these products and going straight to the consumer, which proved that it wasn't, it didn't quite work out the way it was envisioned. But we were such big believers that, brokers are the way, and now it's coming to fruition. I actually wrote an article a few years ago that I refreshed recently that was titled, "Dear Brokers, You're More Like Amazon Than You Think."
Nice.
And it was comparing brokers and agents to big tech, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Uber, Airbnb, and someone, when I was writing it the first time, somebody said, well, how do you compare a broker to big tech companies? That it doesn't really work. Well, it's actually quite easy. If you look at some of the biggest tech companies in the world, they're nothing more than distributors. Amazon doesn't actually build anything. Facebook doesn't curate any of the content. They're just a distributor. Google doesn't build all those websites. They just distribute the knowledge. Airbnb doesn't own the hotels. Uber doesn't own the cars. I mean, typical cliche. But they're just distributors, which is exactly what a broker is. They're a distributor. So comparison number one. Comparison number two is that you have to have choice, and you have to have a lot of choice to satisfy the masses. If you went to Amazon and only got one type of USB-C cable, Amazon would fail. Or if you went to Uber and only got Uber X, or Airbnb and only got one bedroom apartment, it just wasn't going to work. It would fail. You had to have enough choice for the masses, which is what a broker or an agency does. They offer choice between a lot of different markets, especially for a product that nobody really gets up on a Saturday morning and says, man, today's a good day to buy insurance. Woo, I'm excited. So, that choice is important. Yeah. The third one where brokers fail is, and comparing them is data. All those companies distribute using data. They know what you want before you even want it. Whether it's the content you see on YouTube or on Facebook, or the suggestions by Amazon. But brokers are so fractured that they've just never had that much data to be able to power distribution using it. And that's what we're trying to solve. So it's exciting to see that swinging back towards brokers, and it's an exciting time to have a brokerage or an agency, because the future is bright and powered by technology, and it's going to be brilliant.
That sounds absolutely fascinating. I'd love to hear this diversification of products and insurance, because I think they are getting more tailored, aren't they? As you said, you can't just offer one type of USB-C, because you'd go out of business.
Nope.
So let's explore that diversification a bit more. What are we going to start seeing? What are these granular products that we can expect?
Well, lots of different things. I think that a lot of the products are going to be more tailored to the lifestyle of each individual person, versus kind of these blanket products that try to satisfy the masses. Policies will be more customized and on an individualized basis. For years, the industry is moving forward, looking through the rear view mirror, which is tough to go like that. And again, it's a product that, for the most part, is forced on the consumer. You want to drive up and down Las Vegas Boulevard, you have to have insurance. You want to buy a house, you've got a mortgage, you have to buy insurance. You have a business, you need to buy insurance. You don't have a lot of options. So at the very least, if the policy is, if the experience is better for the consumer, they're not dealing with the industry as slow as it is, and the policies are more tailored and customized to that risk based on the data, you start to turn things on its head. It doesn't mean they're going to be excited about it. Nobody's excited about insurance. Because at the end of the day, you only use it when bad things happen.
Sure.
But at least it makes the whole experience around it a little bit more palpable.
Now, what's next for you guys?
Stay the course. Keep growing. I mean, we are going to be entering the U.S. market in 2023.
Congratulations.
We're pretty excited about that. We're largely operating in Canada and the UK right now.
Nice.
So we are going to be entering the US market. We work with 4 of the top 10 global brokerages, and we're hoping to make it 10 out of the top 10.
Right, we're finally coming up to the Mandalay Bay to drop you off. Thanks for giving us company on the drive down.
This is a fun drive for sure. Nothing wrong with this.
Sheriff,
thanks a lot.
It's been absolutely amazing.
It was a great time.
I'll see you in there, right?
You absolutely will.
Yeah? Okay, I'll have to catch you in there. Yeah, mate. Cheers. See ya.